Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Salute to the ancestors. Make sure I'm in the camera here. Gotta pour it in here. I don't want to spill all my water. Salute to the ancestors. Asheo to all the family. Yes, family. Yes, 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 yes. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Yes. Look at this shirt. Look at this shirt. Yes, look at that. Queen Ty in the building. All right, family, we got a very special guest with us today. I'm happy to be broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube at King Simon Presents at YouTube. So if you can't get it on Facebook, you can get it on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to my page, King Simon Presents on YouTube. It is what it is. We're also on Facebook. And remember, it's all about this coming weekend, family. Yes, my brothers and sisters, it's all about this weekend that we have coming up today. This weekend. I'm serious. I have to give the libation and show the ashes to our ancestors. Not doing any numerologies today, brother. Not doing any numerology. I have an interview with Runoko Rashidi. Read the description. Read the description. I have an interview coming up in 20 minutes with Baba Runoko Rashidi. Man, we're going to have a good time today, family. Yes, yes, yes. Let me turn down the music a little. And we're going to only have Baba Rashidi for a little while, because he just came from a tour throughout Europe and out of Africa and various other places where he gathers the information. So it is what it is. Just want to remind everybody, those that are across the seas or in Canada that cannot make it, or in the Caribbean that cannot make it, this coming Sunday to my 23rd celebration and promotion and production. By all means, family, you can go to usalivestream.com/King Simon. That's usalivestream.com/King Simon. And you can actually be in the building and watch it for yourself in the comforts of your own home, in the comfort of your own smartphone, your Android, your iPhone, your dumb phone, whatever phone you got. ET phone home. You can also find out what's going on. It's one ticket. You buy one ticket, get one for free. You buy one ticket, get one for free. Facebook, I'm going through another computer, so it might be a little blurry, but you'll be all right. We'll get it. But if you want it nice and clear, go to YouTube at King Simon Presents on YouTube. So we got Baba Runoko Rashidi, who is a well-renowned traveler, an archivist of our great work as far as African history is concerned. He's archived it in Asia. He's archived it in Europe. He's archived it throughout Africa, of course, throughout America. He's archived it all over the world. So Runoko Rashidi is going to be on in about 18 minutes. He'll be on in about 18 minutes. Just want to get through some of the promotions, of course, like I like to do. Let me turn this down a little bit more. Yes. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Oh, man. So, again, this coming weekend, doors open at 1 p.m. The event starts at 2 p.m. sharp, because I only have the venue until around 9:30, the latest. But I got to make sure everybody clears out by at least 10 o'clock on Sunday, November 11, 2018, which happens to be a number 11. And what is so beautiful about this is we're going to be bringing this council of elders together. myself and per Unc consultation. Dr. Angela will be there. This is my 23rd year in promotion and production. 23rd year in promotion and production professionally. When I was actually hired to do it at a entertainment facility called SOBs in Manhattan. It's still there after 35 years. So I've been there. I think I celebrated the 25 years with them also. So our brother Runoko Rashidi is going to bring some information that is for the nation, family. And if those who don't know who Runoko Rashidi is, as far as what he does, he's the man that goes into various places, various countries to find where your history is at, even in Europe. Those who have read people like J.A. Rogers' books. Matter of fact, I have J.A. Rogers' book, one of J.A. Rogers' books right here. It's a great book by J.A. Rogers. It's called World's Great Men and actually Women of Color, because of course you see Nzinga. Yes, Nzinga is right here. So it's men and women of color. This is J.A. Rogers, the Jamaican from out of Negril, born in Negril, Jamaica, born September 6th. So this is a good book to get into your collection and read and teach your children about it. Also, I have great books by the one, the only Dr. Yosef Ben Yochanan, Jokanan, Africa, mother of Western civilization. Very good book to have. Get it in your libraries, people. Get it in your libraries. I'm broadcasting on two networks, so if you see the book a little higher than the other, it's just what it is. I'm just broadcasting on two. This is a very good book. Matter of fact, this was sold to me by A.A. Rashid back in the day. I bought this from A.A. Rashid. So big up to A.A. Rashid, who is expecting to be in town on December the 16th with a whole host of people. And I got that flyer too. But November the 11th is what it is. Big up to Osei. I see Osei Jones, martial artist. Us, how you doing, sir? Audra, how you doing? And of course, get the point. Big up. And Mr. Compensation is in the building. Anwar's in the building. Wilhelmina is in the building. Okay, got a lot of people in the building that's coming in. Make sure on Facebook you share this with other people, because we're going to have Runoko Rashidi come up at officially at the top of the hour, which will be 7 o'clock New York time, and whatever time it is elsewhere, whether it's 3 hours ahead or 3 hours behind or 8 hours ahead or 8 hours behind, it is what it is. But share this, YouTube, share this, because Runoko Rashidi is going to go in for the 45 minutes that I have him, and I'm not going to take him into a whole 2-3 hours of information, but he's going to preserve his strength because he just came back in the United States after traveling so long. So big up to him. Big up to Angela. Hey, Angela, how you doing? From Per Unc Consultation. Like I told you, I just mentioned her name momentarily. I just mentioned her name a few minutes ago. And of course, they're going to be speaking on the ancient and spiritual greatness of you. I'm on YouTube also. So if Facebook is kind of messing up, that's why I left Facebook alone. I stopped doing a lot of lives through my computer on Facebook because they was kind of messing up. So I'm on YouTube also. So if YouTube is not, if you could go to YouTube, King Simon Presents on YouTube, go over there and you'll see this live streaming right now. And remember, if you want your tickets, you buy one ticket and bring a guest for free. That's buy one ticket, bring a guest for free. Hotep, no tap. Angela, like Brother Panic says, no tap. Hotep, so tap, no tap. But it's Hotep, offering the peace, tranquility of our ancestors. If I look like the head detective on Facebook, is because the way the camera's angled on it, and I'm not using an external camera, but on Instagram is looking good. I mean, not Instagram, on YouTube it's looking great. It's looking real great. But if I'm looking, like I said, if I'm looking kind of crazy like the head detective, those who remember that movie, that television show with In Living Color, it is what it is. You know you old school if you remember those things. Now, again, I'm going to show it to YouTube first. YouTube first. Buy one and bring a guest for free. Tickets are at kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. Now I'm going to go to Facebook, kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com, with live performance by Brother Red Pill and Blue Pill, who we spoke with last night, Brother Kembada, opening affirmations and libations and meditation with the one, the only Yendez. So, and of course, the womb yoga moon dancers will be in the building. And don't forget, you can get it on live stream also, usalivestream.com. Please share this, share this, share this, share this. And we're going to be at St. Francis College. Tickets are also available at Nicholas, Brooklyn. That's 1396 Fulton Street, 1396 Fulton Street, right there between Brooklyn and New York Avenue. Brooklyn and New York Avenue. Okay? So, before we bring on our beloved in the next 11 minutes, want to talk about this event. Of course, Runoko Rashidi, Professor Leonard Jeffries, whom I'll be speaking with on these same channels tomorrow. I'll be speaking to Professor Leonard Jeffries tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Whatever other time it is your way, it's up to you, your way, okay? And I spoke to Professor Smalls already, but Runoko Rashidi is tonight. Last night was Blue Pill from the Red and Blue Pill team. And I spoke to the womb yoga representative, the one, the only Seha, Nicole. And I did speak to Yendez. We went to Yendez's place, her beautiful center, and actually sat down with her. Now, I'm going to show on YouTube first. December the 16th, the God Frequency Conference with B.O.B., the artist B.O.B., Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Dr. Nalani, A.A. Rashid, Dr. Alim Bey, and Sister Khadija Samadi. It's going to be at the Alhambra Ballroom in Manhattan on December 16th. It's a Black Magic 363 presentation. I will not be in town. I will be in Georgia, heading to Florida. But you can call Brother Rich at 646-472-4219 for more information. That's 646-472-4290 for more information. This light is real bright. My gosh, man, my gosh. Yes, man, I have to turn on the light. Turn on the light and light a candle. That's the Jamaican style of saying in Teddy Pendergrass. Let's light a blood clot fire. Fire together. Lord of mercy. We can't be Jamaican again. Whoa. At least me not bleach. At least me not bleach. Like certain people, me did find out I bleach up and bleach down. I do fake bleaching. Like my girl Spice. I've seen Spice before perform live. So big up to Spice, her good friend. Good reggae artist back in the day when I was into that. Also, let me big up some other great books. I just bigged up Dr. Ben and J.A. Rogers' books. Here, this is Ashra Kwesi and Mirara Kwesi's book, African Builders of Civilization, a pictorial history of famous personalities from ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt. There it is. Get that book on kemetnew.com, kemetnew.com. Boom. Also, this is a brand new book that I picked up by Akbar Muhammad from out of the Nation of Islam. This one is called Africa Revisited by Akbar Muhammad. Africa Revisited. Africa and the World Revisited. Those who ain't get this, very good book so far. Africa and the World Revisited. Also, another very good book by Sheikh Anta Diop. This one is called Civilization or Barbarism. Civilization or Barbarism by Sheikh Anta Diop. It's Diop out there, baby. I don't say dope. I say Diop. That's right. It's dope out there, son. That sister's dope. Diop. There it is. Get that book too. As a matter of fact, it was Baba Jeffries and his team that helped translate this book from French to English. That's why we got it, courtesy of that team there back in the day. Last but not least, I got a whole bunch of books, really, but I'm not going to show all of them. This is a great book by Mr. Robin Walker. Trying to get him in town also. When We Rule. Try to get him in town for next year. When We Rule. By Robin Walker. When We Rule. Very good. You can see it's on my shirt already. You know Queen Tie is on my shirt. This beautiful sister's already on my shirt. Stop playing. A lot of mercy. Yes. When We Rule. Very good book. It's a thick-ass book, too. But When We Rule. Get that book also, family. We're going to get ready to call Baba Rashidi. And if you have any questions, please put it up in the description bar. Please put it up in the description bar in YouTube and on Facebook. If you have any questions for Brother Runoko Rashidi. As a matter of fact, this book, the introduction was done by Runoko Rashidi, as you can see on the top. The introduction was done by Runoko Rashidi. So also, Georgia, I'm coming to town. Georgia, I am coming to town. Georgia, I am coming to town. Georgia, I'm coming to town. December 1st. Not for Christmas, though. You better know your numbers when I come. And I'm not talking about your blood numbers and your hemoglobin and all that stuff. All right, so I will be at the Silver Talisman. The Silver Talisman. That's right. The Silver Talisman is located at 978A Main Street, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Advance tickets are $20. More at the door. You can RSVP at 470-343-8484. That's 470-343-8484. That's 470-343-8484. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the event starts at 8 p.m. And you could go to the website at silvertalismanboutique.com. That's silvertalismanboutique.com. Now I'm going to call Baba. So y'all get ready. Without any further ado, family, we're going to make sure his phone is right. This send early email to client, bringing guests, no additional charge. Still, people are texting me about that. Yes, I said yes. What's wrong with people, man? People don't pay attention. People don't know I had an early bird sale for this event too. So they gotta. People. Now I'm sounding like Joel Benjamin. People. Joel. Big up to Joel Benjamin, 528. Big up to Brother Rich. Big up to Sonetta and the crew. As a matter of fact, let me start bigging up some people. Let me big up some people real quick before we call the Baba. Let me big up some people real quick. Some of the vendors that's gonna be in the building. You see, I got the list already. Typed out and ready to go. Any additives, it's what it's going to be. It's going to be additives and preservatives that day. Got the list already. I got the itinerary also. Got the itinerary printed out. The itinerary is printed out. Man, I play with don't know. Last thing I have to print out is the list where people appear and spend their money. All right, good. All right, let's big up some of the vendors. I got to big up some of the vendors. Okay, some of the vendors that will be in there is Ancient Aura Jewelry, Brian Strongwind, Brother Divine Creation, Copper Vibration from out of North Carolina. Copper Mike will be there. Fab Products will be there. Hanifa and Brother Haz will be there. Unk Rising Sun will be there. Herbal De La B Herbals will be there. Unk and the Unk Man and Hope and the Unk Man will be there. Imani Creation will be there. Of course, me, King Simon will be there. Kissed by the Sun Products will be there. KT, the Arch Degree will be there. Vending. Modesty, Eternal Soul Healing will be there. Mojo Cafe is providing the food. Abyssinian L Arts will be there. Red Pill and Blue Pill will be vending. Brother Kambada will be vending. Shane out of Queens will be vending. I think Sister Malika Ali is coming with the brownies. Uniquely Wired will be there. Veganomics will be in the building. Womb Yoga Dance team is going to be there. Yendez is definitely vending, and also Yomi and Jakim will be in the building. So, and that's what it is. I won't give you the special guest that's going to pass out, all right? Going to meditate. I'll be back. Yeah, have fun. I'll be here for only 45 minutes with the Baba, probably for the whole hour here. All right, so I'm going to give him a call right now. So y'all just hold on. This is live radio, people. It's live radio. It's live radio, family.
All right, let me get set up here, man.
No problem. I'm going to bring you on with a well-deserved round of applause anyway. So you go ahead, and I'm going to just talk it up and bring you in. Okay, brother?
All right, sounds good.
All right. All right, now, family, we're about to bring on one of the living legends that's been archiving our history for many years in Asia, in Europe, and throughout Africa. This brother has been doing it. As I showed you, one of the books that he introed was When We Rule. I got that by Robert Walker. I just showed you that book right there. Of course, he studied under people like Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, good friends with Dr. Jeffries, and also Professor Smalls. So I'm proud to have on my airwaves, on my platform, not only on Facebook Live, but also on YouTube. We're proud to let's welcome the one, the only, Professor Dr. Runoko Rashidi. What's up? Peace, my brother. Hotel, peace. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on. Can you hear me?
Yes. How should we take advantage of our time together?
Yes, sir. I tell you, my brother, a lot of people is anticipating your return to New York. The last time I seen you here, we was at Tropical Reflections in Brooklyn. For a lady that brought you in over there. So I'm just happy that we're able to bring you into St. Francis College this time.
Well, I'm glad to have the opportunity. You know, as you say, I don't get to New York. I don't get to Brooklyn very often.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and with the lineup that you have, I think we've got something historic on mind or in mind.
Well, you know, I spoke to Baba Jeffries, who I'll be speaking to him live tomorrow. And he's so happy that you're coming in. And, you know, he said both Baba Jeffries and Baba Small spoke very highly of you. They know you for many years, and they're very happy that you're coming. That's why, you know, when me and you talk privately about, you know, having them, you opening up for them, they want to watch you really get busy. But it's only that Baba Jeffries is going to come in late, like I told you. And he's going to be supporting, doing something for John Henry Clark that day. And then he's going to come in. But he is happy that you're going to be there. He wants to be able to be on the panel with you at the end, and they're just going to go in. They just gave a lot of great accolades about you and a lot of great compliments to you, my brother. They really love you.
So how are you going to structure that? This question and answer period at the end.
Yes, that's the question and answer. Everybody at the table, and the people can question each one of y'all. That's how we're going to structure it at the end.
Now, how was it that you selected me for this panel, brother?
Well,
think of all the people that you could get, why Runoko Rashidi?
I've been admiring your work for many years, brother. Even from back in the day when you came here. I think it was Alton Maddox that brought you. People like him. Yes, I was there. I was one of them young people back in the day. So I've always admired you. And then when you came to Tropical Reflection, I said, me and you've been connecting, but we just really never connected. I've been hitting you up on Facebook before, and you did tell me to contact you and all that, but we never really got to connect until now, until I had Dr. Angela contact you, my dear assistant, and and also helping me with this. And that was the breakthrough right there. So she was actually the opening of the way. And I said, yes, let's do it.
Now, speaking of the opening of the way,
yes, sir.
You had many other people who are going to be on the program.
But yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the essence is what? What exactly are you? What is the goal? What are we trying to accomplish here?
Well, those same people that are first of all, the people that are open and have short limited time, we're just trying to more draw some of the young people in to understand what our elders are doing, because they've seemed to be a great divide between our young people of lately and the elders. And that's okay. And I've recognized that myself, being that I was up under you and Alton Maddox and all the rest of y'all that came in slave theater. It was young and old sitting in the audience together, watching y'all teach what you taught. And it's been a big divide since lately. And a lot of the brothers, like Professor Smalls and Professor Jeffries, commend me for bringing it back together. Now, these people are respectfully performing conscious lyrics, like two acts, but they only got 9 minutes each. And then I got an opening meditation and libation to the ancestors by Priestess Yendes. She's up front on the Baba Heru. She studied on the Baba Heru and Queen Afua. So she's going to open up with that, and then we're going to have a closing meditation after we finish the whole program. So we're trying to bring the youth and the elders together. That's why I only charge one price and bring a guest for free. Trying to bring, and the young people are absolutely free up to the age of 17. That's how we work, brother. That's what we're trying. But we're trying to get what you regularly do as far as teach our ancient history through PowerPoint, and what you do as far as go around the world and really show our people that we exist in Europe, Asia, and all over the world. That's why I also chose you to be on this great event for my 23rd celebration and promotion and production.
Now, a few months ago, I took a group to Mexico.
Yes, sir.
African Heritage Mexico. And on this trip, there were a number of young people. I'm 64 now. I'm just getting used to the idea of being an elder. But there were several people on the tour, like in their late 20s, early 30s, and we talked a lot.
Yes, sir.
And it was amazing to me, the things that I just taken for granted. For example, one of them asked me, had I ever heard of somebody named Francis Welton? Okay. And I started laughing. And then another one asked me, what did I know about this man, Ivan Van Sertima, who I worked with for 25 years. So it's funny in a sense, but also it reminded me of how short the attention span is of many of our people. Now, Dr. Van Sertima just died in 2009.
Yes.
And Francis just a year or two ago.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of young people aren't even aware of who these gigantic figures are. And it really, really brought me down to earth. So,
yes, sir.
I appreciate what you're doing, brother. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has a gift.
Yes, sir.
And yours seems to be to make this magic happen and bring these people together for the common good of our community. And I commend you for that.
Thank you very much, sir. I handpicked these artists because these same artists that's performing are the ones that mentioned the Francis Cresswells and the Dr. Sabi and Ivan Van Sertima in their lyrics. And that's what we need, these young people to start teaching and spitting that, the vernacular, spitting that lyric out to those young people again. To get that, because just like back in the Nation of Islam, they had a lot of rappers in the Nation of Islam that talked about Elijah, talked about Malcolm, talked about Khalid, like Public Enemy and all that. So we need to bring what was doing in the 80s and 90s back into the 2000s. And that's what my premise of doing something like this and bringing those entertainers that's going to be there briefly. But y'all really have the floor. Y'all have the floor. Believe me, y'all have the majority of the time. But what I'd like to ask you, sir, to my audience that's listening right now, those who are just tuning in on King Simon Presents on YouTube and King Simon on Facebook, we're here with Baba, Professor Dr. Runoko Rashidi, world traveler in the building, and of course, archivist of our history. And what was Runoko Rashidi like in his youth? What were you doing in your youth? Let these young people that's watching and listening to me right now on YouTube and Facebook, let them know what you did and what made you change to do what you're doing today.
Well, a lot of it was the times in which I was brought up. I grew up in South Central LA.
Yes, sir.
And I was very much affected by the Black Power movement, the end of the Civil Rights movement, the anti-Vietnamese War struggle. All of those things were happening in my youth. When I was 14 years old, I took a class literally called Negro History.
Wow.
And this was among the first time this class was taught. This was the Black Power movement. Black people were taken to the streets, were burning cities down. And so the government made all kind of efforts to reach out and to quiet it down. And a lot of us were demanding to know about our history beyond slavery. So I was impacted by that. And I heard the speeches of Malcolm X. And he used to say, of all our studies, it is history that is most qualified to award our research. And then I went to high school and I read Garvey and Garveyism.
Yes.
And then I went to the university and I was exposed to what we call Pan-Africanism and the teachings of a man named Stokely Carmichael, who later changed it to Kwame Ture. The next big step, I joined a study group and I read the book Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. And from that point, the time I was 18, I knew that I wanted to be a historian. And I really haven't looked back since. Now, what makes my work different than a lot of other people is that I'm not just looking for the African experience in the motherland itself and in the Americas, but Africans in places like Asia, Australia, the Pacific Islands, because that challenges our sense of African identity. And it pushes the theme that I really want to push this Sunday, and that is we have a history before the transatlantic slave trade. And we were great one. In order to assume that full greatness, we have to go back and look at the things we did and what established us as a great and mighty people.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it visually. Another thing that makes my work different than a lot of other people is that I support it with stunning visual representations. And now, most of the pictures that I use are completely original, not from internet searches, not from books, but from pictures I've taken myself in Black communities, archaeological sites, and museums around the world. So, in essence, that's how I got started, and that's where I am right now.
For those who are just tuning in, we're speaking with Baba Runoko Rashidi. As you were saying that about the destruction of Black civilization, I had to pull out the book and show it to the audience so they'll know to go get this by Chancellor Williams. Please, I have all these books. I collected a lot and read a lot. So, and I'm honored that you mentioned all the great names. Now, you said you worked with Ivan Van Sertima before. Now, what type of person was Ivan Van Sertima? Because I heard one time he said on a lecture that sometimes they had to sneak into these museums and these places to actually get the pictures or take the pictures or get the artwork so they can bring it back to their people. How he said that personally. Do you seem to have done the same thing yourself, or how does this work nowadays?
Well, mostly for me, it's just a lot of work.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm at a phase in my life. I'm going to answer your question about Ivan.
Yes.
I'm at a phase in my life where I'm just tired of seeing us as victims all the time. I don't want to minimize the suffering of our people.
Yes, sir.
And our ancestors, but we don't have to be victims. We can, you know, if I were to go on Facebook right now or Twitter or whatever the case may be, even Instagram, and post something that I consider very profound about Black people in history.
Right.
Within moments, a person is going to say they lied to us. They didn't tell us the truth. Well, my response is, yes, we have been lied to, but at the end of the day, whose job is it for us to know our history?
Ours.
And whose job is it for us to tell our story?
Ours.
Without whispering, without stuttering, without stammering, without apologizing.
Ours.
And if we don't do that, then I mean, whose fault is that?
Ours.
We are capable of reconstructing our history, and we are capable of putting a dagger in the throat of white supremacy.
Yes.
And Ivan's work was very instrumental in that. Ivan was the first, not the first person, but the most significant person to challenge the idea that our history in America began with slavery. And he was able to show what he called his thesis, that African people had not only come to America in ancient times, but it had a significant influence on the rise of classical American civilization. So he did that largely through his book that came before Columbus and his speeches and writings. But he also was the founder of a publication called the Journal of African Civilization. And I was one of the most, in fact, most active person in that process, other than Van Sertima himself. So we looked at the African presence in early Europe, in early Asia, in early America, the Moors, great Black women, great Black leaders, and obviously he spent a lot of time on the Nile Valley. And we're going to talk about all those things this Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, you said something very key about it's our thing to do as far as promote our history, know our history. And it brought tears to my eyes only because my parents are from Jamaica and Cuba. And my grandfather was a good friend of Marcus Garvey. My grandfather passed at 104.
Wow.
some years ago. He was a good friend of Garvey and tried to help him out. But you know what? He never told his daughter, which was my mother, that he was close to Garvey. I learned Garvey on my own, and I didn't find out he was close to Garvey until he was 99 years of age.
Wow.
So it brought tears to my eyes because he didn't give that energy to my mother so my mother could teach me, but yet I gravitated to Garvey naturally through reggae music and his books. That's what I gravitated. And that's what upset me about, I was a rebellious child. I ran away from home at 17. So I think it was because I didn't know my history and I was searching for something. And that's where, when he told me that, I really got happy. So what would you say to some of the parents or young people that are becoming parents now? What would you say to them? I would definitely tell them, don't do the same thing my grandfather did, as far as not tell that history. But what would you say to these young people that know certain things and know certain things about information, like the books that we have today, and about you and other people that are doing the work?
Well, there's something going on Facebook, a statement that I really like.
Yes, sir.
And essentially, a brother is employing our people. In other words, what he's saying is, because of what our generations have suffered, there's a tendency to try to give our children all the things we never had. And this position is, instead of trying to give our children all the things we never had, teach them all the things we were never taught. Because material things will perish, but knowledge is immortal. Knowledge is eternal.
Yes, sir.
And knowledge will survive us. And so we have a duty to pass it along so that future generations will look back at us and say what a wonderful thing we did. Now, one of the things that stings the most is when I hear younger people say that my generation has failed them.
Yes.
And that's a bitter pill to swallow, and I don't agree with that.
Right.
But I do believe that there are certain things that we should be doing a lot better, but that we also don't need to blame others and make excuses for what we are failing to do.
Yes, sir.
And I think that these are deep things that I hope will come up, in our discussion.
Yes, sir.
This Sunday afternoon. So I can't commend you enough for what you're doing and the sacrifices that you're making.
Yes, sir.
And I just do hope that we have a kind of historic turnout and gathering that I anticipate that we're going to have.
Baba, you've been doing this work for many years, and Professor Smalls and Professor Jeffries have been doing it for many years. And I've been doing it for 23 years professionally, but I recall trying to give a flyer to somebody and they'll spit at me, bro. And it helped. I held back so much to go and choke that person, only because I understood. And again, tears is coming to my eyes because I understood what was going on in people's mind when I didn't have knowledge. And at one time I didn't have knowledge. And to get or watch people like you break down African and Asian, African and Europe, just watching you at Slave Theater back in the day was so powerful to me as a young person. Even though I was in the Nation of Islam, I'm glad that the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad told us to read all types of things, study everything, and I was happy that I was able to study and read. And then I had Khalid as one of my guys. Dr. Khalid Muhammad would mention your name and Jeffrey's name and Dr. Ben's name and Dr. Clark's name and what y'all did and how y'all did things. He used to teach us this in FOI class. A lot of people don't even know that. So I commend you for even holding steadfast. I commend people like Baba Heru, who holds on to steadfast to Kemet. I commend people like Ashra Kwesi and Mera Kwesi holding on to this, and James Smalls and Leonard Jeffries and his wife Rosalind. Let's not forget his wife, how powerful she is when it comes to breaking this information down. And
well, here's the thing that has sustained me.
Yes, sir.
I love Black people. I love my people. I love Africa. But I don't feel like I'm working for Black people.
Yes, sir.
I feel like I'm working with Black people. Okay. And I enjoy what I do. I'm very, very passionate about it. So that if one person were to be in the auditorium, or 1,000 people were to be in the auditorium, my enthusiasm, my passion, chances are will be just as high. And that is what I think is needed to keep us going. Now, I've met a lot of the elders now, many of whom are ancestors, people like, of course, Dr. Van Sertima, Yilda Ben Yakinen, John G. Jackson, a lot of people that young people may have never even heard of. Chancellor Williams, who we talked about.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of them were very, very, very bitter towards the end of their lives. They believed that they never got the recognition that they deserved and that slavery had broken us as a people. For me, it's not about the recognition, although that's good. But I think of myself as simply as just a simple, hardworking historian. But I believe in this mission and I love what I do. And my work is my life, and I'm glad to be able to share, because unless you're able to share with other people, it really doesn't have much meaning. So everybody can't do the same thing, but everybody can do something. And this is the one thing that I can do and do it well. And I intend to bring it on Sunday.
That's right. But those who are just tuning in, it's 19 minutes after the hour. We're speaking to Professor and Dr. Runoko Rashidi. And of course, he'll be inside the venue called St. Francis College, downtown Brooklyn. We got a 30-foot screen for him. We got sounds, surround sounds for him and Baba Jeffries and Baba Smalls. And of course, doors open at 1 p.m. Buy one ticket and bring a guest for free. I'm trying to save y'all money, to tell you the truth. I might not even make nothing from this, to tell you the truth, but I'm telling you, family, y'all know how I am. You know how I've been said. It's not about the funds. It's really about y'all getting this information, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here doing this. That's just how it is sometimes. You never know. But people like this brother and people like Professor Smalls and people like Professor Jeffries, they are a wealth and reservoir of information. I mean, Professor Jeffries can give you 50-year intervals of history, just as Professor Jeffries could talk just like that. He's not even doing a PowerPoint. And Professor Smalls is going to be doing a spiritual connection between Voodoo and Kemet and the Orishas in his PowerPoint. But this man here, who I got on the line right now, Runoko Rashidi, is also a traveler of the world that's going to show you through pictorial and bring it to you the way it is. Buy one ticket, get one free. Go to KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. That's KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. Or go to Nicholas Brooklyn and get your tickets at Nicholas Brooklyn. You know, Baba, I have this book in front of me by Mr. Robin Walker, and you did the introduction, which was an excellent introduction, of course, might I say. Now, this brother here, this young brother here, I mean, I don't know how old he is, but this young brother here, now, I'm thinking about bringing him in next year. What are your takes on this whole book and when we rule, and why is it such a significant book for this day and time?
Well, Robin is the greatest Black scholar in the UK, and he's somebody that I consider my peer and contemporary. Yes. Dr. Jeffries and Baba Smalls are a little older than me.
Yes, sir.
But there are certain people that I consider my peers and my contemporaries. Kwesi.
Yes.
Tony Browder.
Yes.
There's a brother in Chicago named Yasir Raoultef.
Yes.
Who's a Kemetic yoga master.
Mm-hmm.
These are people that I really have tremendous respect for, and people that I try to impress whenever I get the opportunity. Now, Robin and I were together about 3 weeks ago in a place called Croydon in England. Mm-hmm. But he is the greatest African scholar in England. Mm-hmm. And his book, Before We Ruled, or When We Ruled, is his biggest work. It's his most comprehensive work. Robin is a very, very thorough brother. And I think also through Robin, we get a chance to connect with our sisters and brothers from the Caribbean, because he's also of Jamaican ancestry. So yes. Since we are Pan-Africanists, I think that Robin puts all of these things together. He's a powerful brother.
Yes.
And he doesn't get to the U.S. very, very often.
Yes.
And so I know that those who get an opportunity to come and listen to him will get a very, very special treat.
Well, you know, maybe next year would be good to bring both of y'all together. What do you think?
No, I think that would be wonderful. Now, Robin is also doing a lot of work on another part. Now, everybody brings something to the table.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of Robin's work is not just on Kemet. Robin spent a lot of time with the West African empires, with Mali, Songhai, and Ghana. and the lives of the people there. Now, one of the criticisms that we get sometimes, or I get, is that we spend too much time with the Nile Valley. I don't accept that.
Okay.
I don't think you can ever spend enough time with the Nile Valley, but I do believe that other parts of Africa need to be studied far more extensively.
Right.
And for one thing, we need to show the connection between the Nile Valley and other parts of the motherland. So if you're going to bring Robin in, I think it would be great. Let me mention a couple sisters too.
Yeah, please.
I think deserve honorable recognition because a lot of times, I don't know if we give the sisters their full props. There's a sister named Lisa Aubrey. Now, Lisa is also doing something very special, and that she is bringing to light a slave dungeon in Cameroon called Bimbia. And this is something very, very new, almost single-handedly doing that. Bimbia is like Cape Coast or Elmina or Goree Island or Fort James or Ouida. And then there's another sister that I admire a great deal who's been working in the fields for a long time. Her name is Raketi Ahmed.
Yes, I know her.
She used to be Raketi Wimby, and she's done a lot of work with the language, the linguistics.
Yes.
So all of these sisters and brothers are people that I consider my peers.
Yes, sir.
And people that I have tremendous respect for, and people that are doing primary research. And I enjoy lifting them up and talking them up because I don't feel any sense of rivalry or competition.
That's right.
Or they're going to outdo me. You know, there's room in this for everybody. Well, another brother that we don't talk about a lot, and he's also an ancestor now, his name is Dr. Jacob Carruthers.
Yes.
He told me before he passed, he says, Brother Runoko, the major problem we have in our community is not white supremacy. He said the major problem that we have in our community is our own ego.
Yes.
And then we all want it, well, speaking generally, we all want to be the chief. Not everybody is willing to be in the background and just make sure that the work gets done.
That's true. That is true. And that is the truth, brother. That's why I usually play my position as a humble promoter and sometimes a speaker, but you got to adapt in what you do. But you know, I know you worked with people like Dr. Ben before. Is that correct? And John Henry Clark?
I work with all of them, man.
And
Dr. Ben, I did 4 trips to Egypt with his personal assistant. Back in the day, in the late 1980s, I began to spend a lot of time talking about Egypt. And Ben Turner, for example, believed that you could do your best research in a library. That it wasn't necessary to actually go and do primary research. But I began to see things a bit different. And I would talk about Egypt and people would say, but have you been there?
Right.
And so eventually it became very clear to me that I had to go and see for myself. And I started traveling to Egypt beginning way back in 1991 with Dr. Fez. And it's one thing to see these things on YouTube or television or see a picture, but it's quite another thing to actually go to Kemet.
Yes, sir.
And stand there and see the pyramids or go through the Valley of the Kings or Karnak Temple. It's a life-changing experience. Yeah, so I work with Dr. Vin very, very extensively, and he's the person that I consider one of my great heroes.
You know, but you said something about, you know, that everybody stays focused on Kemet a lot. But I don't believe when studying John Henry Clark didn't stay in Kemet. He went throughout all the diaspora of Africa, and he just said that Kemet was the mouthpiece. If I'm paraphrasing, but I remember him saying that Kemet was that place that people would go to, but all of Africa was developing basically at the same time. What is your take?
Well, I think that one of the reasons that a lot of us focus on Kemet, there's several reasons. Yes. One, Kemet was the most spectacular part of ancient Africa. That I have no doubt.
Yes, sir.
It lasted for thousands of years, and Africans really threw down in the Valley of the Nile. That's one. Number two, the history of Kemet, comparatively speaking, is so much more well documented than the rest of Africa. And number three, Egypt, in a sense, has been taken out of Africa.
Yes.
And so even now, you have arguments with people, which is hard to believe, about whether or not the ancient Egyptians were, in fact, Black people. They were Africans, not to me.
Right.
that's laughable, yet this debate still goes on. And so a lot of us feel a moral obligation to reattach Egypt with the rest of Africa.
Okay.
But there's a lot more that needs to be done. For example, there's almost nobody doing research on Great Zimbabwe or civilizations in Southern Africa.
Yes, sir.
There's a whole series of civilizations in East Africa along what is called the Swahili coast.
Yes.
You have Central Africa, and the leading figure there comes a little later, and that's Nzinga. And that takes us to another phase in African history, and that is resistance to enslavement.
Yes.
Resistance to invasion, resistance to colonization. And so there are many, many things that we can look at. I'd like to see more work on the role of women, since we talked about it, in African history.
Yes.
The African background to science of all sorts. A lot of us seem to think science is a white person's thing. But we are the first scientists. We're the ones who invented science.
Mathematics.
Marcus Garvey said we must have a race of scientists second to none. The Moors in history. I think that the Moors have been distorted in history.
Yes,
one of the big issues right now on social media is this issue where some people are saying, we're not Africans after all.
Yes.
But we're Aboriginal Americans. And I mean, that's something that really, really, really drives me crazy. So I mean, there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed.
Yes, sir.
And there's room for everybody in this field of study. So there's no need to be really egotistical. I just say, grab you a handful of work.
Yes, sir.
And get started on it and establish yourself as the preeminent person in that field. That's how I got into it.
Yes, sir.
I was in a study group when I was about 28 years old, youngster at the time. And people said, Runoko, if you want to be a part of this study group, you have to, I mean, people like Asa Hilliard and Richard King and some real heavyweights in it. And basically they told me that if I wanted to be a part of this, that I had to find an area of research that nobody had really done much with and develop some level of authority. And I was asked what I was going to choose. And the area that I selected was the Black presence in India. Nobody had really done that.
Right.
And so for years, that was my focus. And so I challenge young people to find something like that.
Yes.
It's one thing to be ignorant. We can cure that. But what we have to do is create an excitement about wanting to know our past. You mentioned that you were, from time to time, have been rejected, that people won't even accept a flyer from you about our history. So we have to find a way to inject a level of excitement so that people want to know. It's one thing not to know, but it's another thing not to care. And that's the barrier that we have to break down. We have to make our people want to know. And it is possible to do this.
Yes.
One of the examples I think that we can look at in recent times is the success of this film, Black Panther.
Yes, sir.
And whether you like that film or not, you have to admit that that film created a level of excitement about Africa in our community that has seldom been seen. You had young people in our community, and I'm not talking about the conscious community.
That's right.
Coming out with their dashikis on, they all may have been made in China, but they wore their African clothes and they did the Black Panther or Wakanda salute and long live Wakanda. I mean, we need to learn from that because it shows me that our people really deep down want to know.
Yes.
And they want to feel excited and they want to feel proud of themselves and they want to feel like they come from a people who gave something of importance to the world.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm about.
You know, there's a question that came up on Facebook by Baba Heru from the studio of Patah. I think you know the brother and he says, hope we can heal the scholar and practitioner divide. What's the point of study without application and the practice of discovered truths? What about dietary reform?
That's an excellent question.
Yes, sir.
And we do have to heal that.
Yes, sir.
And maybe that's your responsibility, perhaps his responsibility to heal.
Yes, sir.
You have people who are specialists, who are going to do what they do and do it very, very, very well. And you can't expect them to change that. But you also have to have a bridge for people to bring all sides of our community together.
Yes, sir.
And that takes a special talent in and of itself, a special diplomatic kind of skill and a love for our people.
Yes, sir.
Now, we all say, I think this is the one thing we agree with, that Black people need to unite, that Black people have to unite. But what will be the basis of that unity? And what are we prepared to compromise in order to build that unity? Or is it just unity on my terms?
Right.
Is it just unity as how I see it? And obviously that's not going to work. So we all agree we need to unite, but we also should be able to define what we mean by Black unity and how that has come about.
Right, right.
So easier said than done.
Yes, it's a lot of work. I mean, even Dr. Africa says it might take another 500 years. That's what Dr. Africa says. I mean, you know, when you think about it, we took a certain amount of years to get into this situation. It might take another certain amount of years to get into it. But one more question before I let you go, Baba, because it is 34 minutes after the hour. But I know you just came in back into the States, and I know you're feeling a little tired and you want to rest up for this weekend. What is the legacy, or what would you like our young people to take with them when you transition from here? What would you like? What would you like your legacy to leave for our people? What do you see after you transition from this world?
Well, first of all, this question about that Dr. Africa introduced. Do we have 500 years?
That's a good question.
No, that's a key question. Do we have that?
That is a key question.
Because a lot of times I think we think it's all going to work out in the end and we have an infinite amount of time. I don't know about that.
Right, right.
In terms of my legacy,
yes, sir.
Leonard Jeffries summed it up for me many years ago. And I have a lot of respect for Dr. J. Yes, we were somewhere in Los Angeles, in Compton, as a matter of fact. And I was there, and he said something about me that really resonated, and that is Runoko Rashidi has opened up entirely new doors and vistas into African identity. And I think a lot of that will be looking at the African presence from a global perspective. I don't do tribes, right, and I don't do petty nationalities or European creation states. But I'm looking at the entirety of the African world, no matter where we find ourselves. I'm from the Peter Tosh School of thought that says, no matter where you come from,
yes,
as long as you're a Black man, you're an African. That's fun. And number two, I think I have a magnificent library, but I think that my biggest legacy may turn out to be my photographs. I've been able to accumulate perhaps 1 million photographs now. Right. Of the African experience all over the world, Black communities, archaeological sites, museum artifacts. And I think that we respond to visual stimulus. And I think that my photo library, my photo archive, they turn out to have the biggest impact when all is said and done. And I spend a lot of time archiving these photographs so that future generations will have access to them and they won't perish when I leave this earth in a physical fashion. Each generation shouldn't have to start all over again. And we should be able to build on what our ancestors have left us. And I think that may turn out to be my biggest legacy and gift.
Yes, sir. Well, Brother Baba, I want to thank you. Do you have any websites that people can check out your work? Are you going to be bringing in some paraphernalia to sell or give away or for Sunday? Please give the website on how they can contact you or how people can book you, please.
Well, the biggest thing that I'm going to introduce is a brand new calendar called Queens of the Nile. It's a 2019 calendar dedicated to great Black women in the ancient Nile Valley. And it's very, very, very powerful. I'm going to be bringing it to New York, Brooklyn for the very first time. It'll be for sale. If people want to reach me, they can always go to my website, which is www.drrunoko.com. That's drrunoko.com. That's drrunoko.com. And they can always send me a message to via the internet.
Yes.
And that is runoko@hotmail.com. But I will definitely be there Sunday. We encourage people to come out. I'm excited. And again, all roads leads to Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
And I want to thank you and commend you for, again, the sacrifice and effort that you've made to put this historic program together. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
And I intend to show up in full force.
Thank you very much. Get your rest, Baba. I know you've been traveling Ireland and everywhere else, so get your rest, brother. I want to see you rested up and ready.
We'll see you Sunday, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's get
sleep.
Hotel. That's our great brother, Baba Runoko Rashidi. I did not want to keep him for too long, family. Yes, it's only 7:38. Yeah, man. It's all about keeping it simple. It's all about keeping it respectful. Thank you, Baba Heru, for that question. And it's going to work. It's all of us. If we're going to unite and if we're going to heal that divide, we're going to have to work on it, and it's going to take some years, but it might take a few years. It might not take 500 years, like Dr. Africa said. But I'm so happy that we had Baba Runoko Rashidi on and sharing that brief wisdom. But believe me, his PowerPoint presentation. And Baba Heru, remember, you're on the guest list too if you're coming. Baba Heru, you are on the guest list. If you are coming, I got you +1 on the guest list all the time. You're always on my guest list, Baba. You know that. Come on out. Let's sit down with the rest of the elders and let's break some bread, eat some vegan food, and let's chill out, man. I really love and respect all of my Babas. As you know, you never see me into any contention and no arguments and no debates. I'm like John Henry Clark. And it's ironic. He's born January 1st. I'm born February 1st. Let me tell you something. I don't debate. I only debate my equals. Everybody else I teach. That's it. That's it. I don't have no time for debate. Really don't have time for debate. You can't debate me on numbers because everybody's using numbers. Everybody's depending on numbers. Everybody uses a phone number. Everybody uses a house number. You can't debate me on numbers because numerology is only what it is, the study of numbers. And we study it from physicists, study it, astronomers study it, astrology studies it, all of us study it. So you can't debate me on numbers. You can debate me on anything else, religion, politics, you can debate me that. And I don't even get into those debates. I stay in my lane and I do what I know. I only speak what I know and find my flow, and I study. That's why I wrote my own books. I wrote my own books. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Make sure you get that on Amazon and Kindle. J.A. Rogers' books is in the building. Make sure you get this book. All of J.A. Rogers' books is good. I mean, he goes all the way into Europe with this stuff. Make sure you get that book. Dr. Ben in the building. Make sure you get his book. Man, also, African Builders, Ashra Kwesi of Civilization. Make sure you get this pictorial book of Ashra Kwesi. Our brother Akbar Muhammad. Very good book, African the World Revisited. He has a close relationship with Africa big time. He's the international African minister or representative of the Nation of Islam in Africa. And of course, Sheikh Anta Diop. Make sure you get this book by Sheikh Anta Diop, Civilization or Barbarism. Also, don't forget Nile Valley Civilization. Boom! By Anthony T. Browder, Nile Valley Civilization, or Nile Valley Contribution to Civilization. Also, we spoke about this book. Runoko Rashidi did the introduction for this book, When We Rule by Robin Walker. I'm going to see if I can bring him in by next year, 2019, by Robin Walker, When We Rule. Introduction by Runoko Rashidi. And last but not least, I got a whole bunch of books, but I got a library full of books. This one, another great book by one of our late great elders, Chancellor Williams, Destruction of Black Civilization. Make sure you get your books, man. Read, study, share. Remember, sharing is caring, family. Sharing is caring. Respect. Don't worry about it. This is how we do it. Now, I want to remind everybody once again, I just dropped the flyers. Get your ticket, buy one ticket, bring a guest for free. Buy one ticket, bring a guest for free. This event is this Sunday. It's my 23rd celebration and promotion and production. 23rd celebration and promotion and production. Buy one ticket and bring a guest for free. Go to King Simon Presents or KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. That's KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. Or you can go to Nicholas, Brooklyn if you're in Brooklyn. Remember, it's going to be at St. Francis College a small college of big dreams, very small college, but it has a nice auditorium too, about 350-seater. At 182 Remsen Street, doors open at 1 p.m. The event starts sharp at 2 p.m. The opening libation and meditation will be by Priestess Yendez, and the closing meditation will be by the Blue Pill from Out of the Pillars. You know that, but they're going to be a live performance by Red Pill and Blue Pill. Kambata, yoga, the womb, yoga, moon dancers will be in the building. And of course, the featured speakers will be Professor Runoko Rashidi, Professor Leonard Jeffries, and Professor James Smalls, all happening on 11/11/11. November 11, 2018, which 2 + 1 + 8 is 11. So it's 11/11/11. So family, I love you. YouTube, love you. Facebook, love you. All of you that came on, love you. Please share this to your social media. We're promoting this hard. And remember, if you're not able to make it in, go to usalivestream.com. That's usalivestream.com. That's usalivestream.com. That's only $20. So for only $20 or 20 currency, 20 shillings, whatever, you get to watch it on your phone, watch it at home, watch it with a crowd of people. Bring popcorn, vegan popcorn and food, and enjoy. You get to watch the whole celebration of my 23 years professionally in production and promotion. And it's happening November 11th. Doors open at 1, the event starts at 2, and that's when the live stream will start. So please, if you're outside of the States and you can't make it to New York, or if you're not around the tri-state and you can't make it to New York, usalivestream.com. You can watch it on your phone, smartphone, iPhone, Android, all of those things. We have no excuse, really, no excuse. And it's only $20. $20. November the 11th. Don't forget, I'll be in Atlanta. I'll be in Stone Mountain December the 1st. We'll also be live streaming that, okay, on my YouTube. I probably live stream that for free on YouTube for the first time for free. Also, don't forget, December 16th, Brother Rich's event. Brother Rich, Black Magic 363, Brother Rich's event, Black Magic 363. That's going to be with B.O.B., Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Dr. Nalani, Brother A.A. Rashid, Dr. Alim Bey, and the one, the only Khadijah Samadi. Sunday, December 16th, doors open at 1 p.m. The event starts at 2 p.m. $50 in advance, $60 at the door. Live stream is $25. Alhambra Ballroom, at the Alhambra Ballroom. I'm out of here. Runoko Rashidi has been in and out, and I'm getting ready to go down out of here. And if you want to contact him, that's his website. Dr. Runoko is actually Dr. Runoko with an O. So let me put that right in. DrRunoko.com. That's the proper website, drrunoko.com. So that's his website, drrunoko.com. So yes, down there, yes, that's the correct website right there. That's if you want to get any tapes, any DVD, any books, all his products, you can go to Dr. Runoko Rashidi or drrunoko.com. Let me put it over here in YouTube also. Go to his website, Dr. Runoko. If you want to book him also, you could do it through his website too, drrunoko.com. That's his website. And also, you could email him if you want to book him too. Runoko, if you want to bring him to your town, you can do that. Runoko at hotmail.com. At hotmail.com. That's also his email if you want to come. Want to thank Angela for tuning in and everybody that tuned in. Jamila, big up to you, Jamila, for tuning in. Baba Heru, thank you for tuning in. And I am out of here. Let me throw on my African music and then we can get out of here the right way. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm serious. There it is. Where's my African music? Oh my God, where's my African music? Come on now, stop playing. Stop playing. There it is. Come on, let's close out. There it is. I'm out of here, family. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm out. Africa forever. Wakanda forever. I'm serious. Thank you. Have a great evening. Be safe. Be at peace. Love yourself. Love your family. Love your ancestors. And love the energy that you have within. because it's stronger than anything outside of you. Peace. I'm out of here, Facebook first. Later, YouTube. I'm out of here.